Hey guys, just out here enjoying this beautiful spring day, and I wanted to talk a little bit about loneliness. So, a lot of us, especially people who are entrepreneurs or work all the time for themselves, we tend to not have time for other people. We tend to maybe keep to ourselves because we're just so busy. I admire people that have families and relationships that they can hold down. But one thing that nobody talks about is how much time you spend alone. But there's some benefits to that people don't tell you. So spending a lot of time alone allows you to think more about how you think. It allows you to know more about yourself as being compared to spending a lot of time around other people and then basically becoming those other people instead of becoming who you really were meant to be. So what I mean is, like, if you have a group of friends and you're spending a lot of time around them, you know how you have a belief, but when your friend says something that's contrary to that belief, you kind of capitulate, you kind of give in a little bit. Well, over time, your beliefs tend to become theirs, especially if they have a stronger frame, which means they're more charismatic, they're the alpha, let's put it that way. And if you're around those kind of people that just have a stronger frame, you tend to kind of become them. And when it comes to you living your life the way that you were meant to, that would make you the most happy, maybe their answers aren't the ones that you need. And you have to be careful, because when that happens, you end up becoming them. You end up living their life. It's kind of like if your family wants you to become a doctor or a lawyer, you end up becoming them, or what they wanted you to be. But are you really happy doing that? See, I think we all are here for a purpose. And maybe that purpose isn't what your parents want you to be. That's not what your preacher wants you to be, or your teacher, or your counselor, or any of that. Now, deep down inside, the answer to all your questions, they're there. What is it that you're meant to do? But you're not going to find those answers through other people, usually. You might get some insight, you might get some ideas, but now the real truth about who you are, that's only going to come from you. And let's say, like out here, I'm actually in a junkyard, which is kind of funny, but I'm just walking around in the woods. But yeah, if you're looking to learn more about what you want to do out of your life, being alone isn't such a bad thing. A lot of times it's lonely being by yourself all the time. It's lonely not going out and partying, and I sacrificed a lot of that myself. But understanding that there are benefits. For one thing, you can focus on your work, and you can do things that you would not otherwise be able to do with people around all the time. Another thing that you could be doing is that you could be more introspective when you spend a lot of time alone. So, one of the things that Napoleon Hill talks about is being able to transmute your energy. When you're around other people, especially if you're kind of introverted, you become very drained. It drains your energy. You would definitely know what I'm talking about if you are introverted. If you go out to a party, at the end of the party, you're just kind of like, I want to go home. That's exactly what I mean. It drains your energy. You have to perform. And having to perform all the time and being on alert and knowing and being aware of other people's reactions, it can be draining. So when you are around people all the time, it can zap your energy that you would otherwise put into your work, that you would put into creative ideas. Now, on the other hand, if you are extroverted and you spend too much time alone, it could drain you. You need people. You need people for that energy. But even if you are extroverted, you can benefit from spending a lot of time alone. There's some interesting things that start happening when you do spend too much time alone. You do start talking to yourself like I'm talking to a phone right now in the middle of the woods. But there's other things that you start picking up on that you wouldn't. It's like a secret hack. It's almost like you can hear things that you couldn't hear because of other people's static in your mind. You're always worrying about what somebody else is thinking. When that goes away, suddenly you start listening. And you start hearing things in your subconscious come to the surface. Like, man, I've been really doing some stupid stuff. Or, man, why have I been doing that this whole time this way? I could have been doing it this way. Just little things like that start to add up.